Hello all you wonderful people. Today I'll be pulling no punches in my clear attack on the story of Noah's Ark. In fact, I'd say we're going to tear right into it, and it's clear that there's too many points that could be made, so we're just going to slip a few in that I believe do the job for us. As if the basic weighing up of probability shouldn't do that for you. And yes, you can accuse this video of being biased. So let's start on a simple point. I mean, if God came to me and he said, I need you to build a boat. And I say, why? And God says, to save 2 of each animal. Because I'm going to flood the world as we know it and kill everything. In fear of sounding blasphemous, I'd probably weigh it up and say, well, why not just not cause the flood? Ultimately, what is the flood in aid of? Why is it your wish to kill absolutely everything? What crops will we be harbouring when we come back to the existence in which you're taking from us? What about all the people that are following your rules? Are you still going to punish them? Where's their boat? And it's amazing that Noah, so long ago, has been taken seriously. I know in 2017, if I started erecting a great big wooden boat because my claim was that God had told me to save 2 of each animal, I'd end up locked up double sharpish in a big old white jacket. In fact, I see these people with microphones at Oxford Street and no one seems to believe them. I wouldn't be particularly surprised if they sleep in a hospital that night. But yet, of course, the creators of fiction of thousands of years ago is incredibly reliable. So for you religious people, there is a spruce tree in Sweden which is 9,550 years old, supposedly roundabout, making it older than any modern religion that we can relate to or is practiced today, and seems to have suspiciously survived the flood. I couldn't come to the. I couldn't avoid it if I was Noah as well, and say, well, hang on. If I've got 2 of each animal, what if one dies? What if one gets ill? What if one falls off, and now I'm left with 1 animal, and you just extinct them because you're basing everything on the premise that this is going to work. These animals are not in your best interest if you're creating their environment as one that is trying to kill them. But Noah, there's a tree in Sweden that thinks you're a liar. I mean, the Titanic was 600 foot. Noah's Ark said to be about 500 foot. Now the huge ship, the Queen Mary 2, rounded off at about 1,100 foot, carrying a mere 4,309 people. So Noah's Ark, being 500 foot roughly, was supposed to have carried around 7.7 million animal species in pairs. What are you talking about? But we must move on quickly, because the greatest point of all is that to all you religious people, we know this did not happen, so stop telling children that it did, because of great civilizations that were thriving at the time that kept good records, which must either not have noticed their eternal demise, or forgot to mention being smashed to bits by massive amounts of water. So for instance, the Chinese Neolithic dynasty, the Egyptians dynasties 4, 5 and 6, the Mesopotamians, early dynastic period, the Peruvians, Norte Chico civilization, among others. So let's also bear in mind that because these people were keeping brilliant records, they were obviously incredibly literate. So it does seem a bit wonderful that all of these prophets that seem to have mustered up preach to illiterate people. That primitive people not keeping records in an eastern country should be gifted with the ultimate and omnipotent message from God. He didn't choose the people that could write down what he's saying perfectly. And now it's never entirely clear what Noah would have done in the end anyway. Where are all these people to restart civilization? If you're one of these people that says you don't take the stories literally, then stop talking about them. Because let me tell you, they were written literally. You can say they're metaphors or parables or stories. They were intended as scientific fact of the day. So pay us all the compliment of not believing you're more intelligent than us. You even know a big secret, or you can con us. I'm pretty sure a Chinese historian would laugh his head off if he was to come across the story of Noah's Ark. And if I'd been asked to save every animal, I'd probably end up eating half of them. I'm not sure what you're eating if you're meant to be saving all the animals. What you feeding all of these carnivores and what have you, fish? I think not. Thank you very much for listening to my strategic moaning. You've been listening to Mr. Heretic at Revelation Be Damned. Revelation Be Damned at Outlook.com. Think for yourself.